Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Joe, where I help you make better coffee and give you honest reviews. Today, I have a little fun thing that we're gonna do. Starbucks just released their crisp apple macchiato and iced macchiato, and it's could be better. So I'm gonna help you make it better, and we're gonna make something that isn't all artificially and disgusting. So that's what we're gonna do today. It's a little play on, like, remember those caramel apple suckers back in the day? Maybe if you were a kid growing up in the late 90s or whatever, early 2000s, you'll remember that. I don't even know if they're still around, but that's the kind of the flavor we're going for. So let's get to it. All right, first up, we're gonna cut our apples into fourths, making sure not to get any of the seeds in there. Once you cut it, go ahead and throw it in your pan over there, and just keep chopping away. Okay, next up, now that's all in there, make sure that your pan is buttered. We're gonna set the temperature in the oven to about 375 to 400 degrees. And then we are going to take your cinnamon stick and just do a little bit, just a little bit is touching each one. Not a ton here. Very light. Oop, you don't want that big stick in there. Okay. Take the pan, put it into the oven, and then we're going to start the caramel sauce. If you already have some caramel sauce or you bought some store-bought, that's fine, but I'm going to make some homemade one. Okay, we're going to get a cup and a fourth of a cup of sugar into a non-stick pan. Make sure, oops, got a little too much there. There we go. And then we're going to put just a touch of lemon, just a touch, so just like a capful, not even. You really don't want the flavor to come out. It's really just to make it a little bit easier so that it doesn't burn. And then we are going to get about a fourth of a cup to a half of a cup of water. Okay, water's in. We'll go ahead and put that in. You want to take a look there. It basically just gets right over the top of all the sugar. So that's all we need. And then go ahead and let's start cooking it down. Takes about 8 minutes. Okay, so it's cooking up a little bit. We're gonna wait for it to get a dark amber color. You can kind of vary it. They say to wait till about 384 degrees, which I do have a thermometer over there, but I'm just gonna go off of color and smell. And then after that, we'll start to add in our heavy cream, and I have about 2/3 of a cup to a cup. All right, so we're really close at this point. You probably could add it if you wanted like a lighter caramel, but I'm gonna keep going to let it get a little bit more dark and get some more bitterness out of it. But you could kind of feel it once it starts to get to the point where you can add the milk.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at the point, this is gonna be pretty intense because as soon as you start pouring it, it is gonna start to really steam up a lot. So we're gonna try to mix this in. Make sure if you have a fan, you have it on. I'm not gonna turn it on right now just because I'm trying to get this for this video. And it'll be way too loud. All right. So that looks pretty good. Look at that color. All right. So just make sure you keep mixing it. I just turned the heat off now. Didn't take very long. We're gonna go ahead and make sure that all this is nice and incorporated. And you can kind of see that the caramel is already caramelly. It's got that nice caramel color. So I'm just gonna let it cool, and this will turn into a perfect caramel mixture for our topping and for the sides of our cup. Okay, so now that these have been cooking, they're pretty much fork tender. we're going to put them into the blender with some simple syrup or kind of create the simple syrup inside there and blend it up. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to take all the apples and place them in the blender. All right. It does smell delicious. Okay, now I have 2/3 a cup of water. I might increase it to a cup, just depends on how the apples absorb it and everything. So we're going to start with 2/3 and then 2/3 sugar. Okay, let's blend it up. Smells delicious. We are going to add about another 1/3 of a cup of water, and that's totally fine. That we were off on the simple syrup solution, not a big deal. Yours might differ too. You just gotta make sure it's a little like liquidy enough so then it'll strain. Okay, so that's pretty good. It is gonna get pushed through a fine mesh sieve, and we will go from there. So we're gonna go ahead and take this off right there, and then we're gonna pour it over. As you can see, whoops, as you see, some liquid is coming out. Now it might take a while, so let me get this out of here. So you can leave this just sit here and you can let it sit and do its thing. I'm gonna start using kind of a spatula and push it down just to kind of get it going a little bit quicker, but go ahead and do whatever you feel best. Okay, so we yielded about probably almost a cup of actual liquid in here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add, because it's super strong because apples are pretty sweet, so we're actually going to add a little bit more simple syrup to this, or make it into simple syrup. So I'm going to go ahead and grab 1/4 of a cup of sugar and go ahead and dump that in there. All right, and then we're going to add another 1/4 of a cup of water. So go ahead and dump that in. And I'm actually going to add a little bit more because it was super sweet. So do like 1/4 in a cup and another 1/2 of that, so 1/8 of a cup. And then we're going to take this, go ahead and seal it all up and shake the crap out of it. You could heat it up too if you want to just make this process go a little bit quicker, but it should be good. Okay, so let's give it the initial taste. I will say too, optionally you could add a cinnamon stick in there if you really like cinnamon. I put just a little bit and I want to try to stay true to the apple crisp taste. So let's go ahead and just give it a quick little sip. Nailed it. Very appley, has all those nice warm apple tastes, and yeah, it's really delicious. So let's go ahead and make our first drink. Okay, we are ready to make the first drink. So here's what we're gonna do. While we're doing the warm one, now we are gonna do the Starbucks version of a macchiato. I know some people know a macchiato as an espresso with a small amount of like whipped microfoam on top. We're gonna do the Starbucks way today and basically do an upside down latte. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna steam milk, put it in the cup, and then do a shot over top. So let's go ahead and get to it. First of all, we got to use this beautiful caramel. I mean, it's pretty epic. It's nice and thick. We're going to just layer that right in. Make sure you really get a nice design in there if you can. And if you can't, that's all right. We're just painting happy caramel trees over here. All right, very good. All right, cool. Not my best work ever, gonna be honest there, but not terrible. So let's go ahead and get the right amount here. I'm gonna do about 2/3 of a shot of this liquid. So we're gonna go right about to there. That should be good. It's really to taste. It's however you like it. I really want that appley flavor, so let's give it a shot. You know, play around with it though. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna grab some. Thought that was gonna stick to me for a second. We're gonna go ahead and grab the almond milk because I have a lactose problem, and we are going to actually incorporate this shot directly into the milk here. So. Go right there, pour the shot right into the milk, and it shouldn't mess around with the color too much. So go ahead and let's steam this sucker. Again, I'm not the best milk steamer in the world, and that's okay. All right, that is just about good. Gonna go ahead and clean it up a bit. Always clean your steam wand. You don't want a dirty steam wand. All right, go ahead and swirl it around a little bit. Try to break up those micro bubbles. If you want to give it a couple of smacks, that'll do the trick. Okay. That should be good. It actually doesn't look too terrible right now either. A lot of times the almond milk gives me troubles, but right now it's fine. So let me just do that. We're gonna go ahead and pull our shot of espresso. I'm gonna rinse my hands while that's doing that. Okay. We have to go pretty fine for this. It's decaf and probably a little older than it should be, but that's okay. It's a late night, so. All right, let's go ahead and do a quick little distribution. All right, and let's tamp it too. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna use my B+ puck screen here. Not a sponsor, but that's okay. And let's go ahead and pull this shot. So, hopefully don't overfill. I think it's about right. We'll see though. And right at 28 seconds, that'll be perfect. All right. So it actually looks pretty good. Let me go ahead and see if we could top it. Now, almond foam doesn't always take too nicely to this. So we're gonna try to go to the edge and make this, whoop, oh no, one more. We'll do one more. All right, there we go. Let's clean that off. And there you go. This is the better than Starbucks Apple Crisp Macchiato. All right, so here's the drink, the Apple Crisp or Crisp Apple Macchiato. That caramel is delicious, and this drink is really good. It does remind me of the kind of caramel apple suckers like I was going for. The apple taste could be a little bit stronger, but honestly, apple and coffee kind of don't go super well together, so it's nice just to have a nice hint of it and it's not overbearing. So go ahead and give this a shot. If you come up with a better ratio of apples or whatever, go ahead and share it in the comments below and maybe we'll make another video about it. Cheers.